He's one of our plan to see him fight in 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight.
Canelo and Crawford are two names.
CaneloAlvarez and TerenceCrawford are two of the most talked about names in boxing, and fans have been eagerly anticipating the possibility of these two legends clashing in the ring. The excitement surrounding this potential matchup has not died down, with the conversation continuing to fuel speculation.
Strategy is leaving with my hand, rolls and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, sums it.
After months of uncertainty, the prospect of these two champions facing off has been reignited, offering a glimmer of hope. What began as a series of possible scenarios and roadblocks may now be taking a turn toward a potential reality.
As long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything. So
Canelo, the reigning unified super middleweight champion, has been at the peak of his career. In September, he successfully defended his titles against Edgar Berlanga, solidifying his position as one of boxing's most dominant forces. Although fans have come to expect Canelo's legendary Cinco de Mayo appearances, the mystery surrounding his next opponent has only fueled speculation, with TerenceCrawford's name once again rising to the forefront.
In boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do.
Crawford's journey has been nothing short of incredible. The former welterweight champion stunned the world by moving up to super welterweight and defeating Israel Madrimov, adding a fourth division title to his already impressive resume. Fans have long dreamed of seeing Crawford move up again to face Canelo, and Crawford himself has openly expressed his readiness to take on this challenge. But could this dream fight actually come to fruition?
Terence Crawford was with Turki Alalshikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
Earlier this year, Saudi sports executive Al-Sheikh showed interest in organizing this massive showdown, using his connections and resources to try and make it happen. However, talk stalled when Canelo refused to entertain the idea before his fight with Berlanga. This led Al-Sheikh to step back, and for a while, it seemed like the matchup was just a distant fantasy.
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Now, Al-Sheikh has taken an unexpected step, putting the ball back in Canelo's court. Speaking to DAZN, he revealed he was ready to reignite negotiations, but only if they were to take place directly with Canelo himself. "I don't know anyone from Canelo's team, but if he hears me, I'm ready to discuss it," Al-Sheikh said. His willingness to bypass intermediaries shows just how serious he is about making this fight happen. The big question now is whether Canelo will respond.
I'm an all-around athlete. There ain't nothing I can't do. So what you doing there? Enjoy yourself since winning the belts.
While fans are excited, Canelo has faced criticism, including from David Benavidez, who recently claimed Canelo turned down a $70 million offer to fight an undefeated former world champion. Whether or not this claim is true, it adds to the pressure on Canelo to deliver a blockbuster fight in 2024. Facing Crawford could be the perfect opportunity to silence any doubts. For Crawford, this fight would not only cement his legacy but also prove his ability to compete at 168 pounds, despite the considerable weight difference.
And remember, Canelo is a guy who presses a lot. That's one thing Canelo does. Canelo's not very active, but he gets in your face and he mentally presses you a lot by cutting off the ring, getting in your face. So I start to wonder if going up to super middleweight is going to be a bridge too far for Crawford. But hey, man, he got the win, and I guess that's going to be the talking point from now as well.
The stakes couldn't be higher for both fighters. A win for Canelo would solidify his place as one of the greatest boxers of all time, while a victory for Crawford would make him a legend in his own right. Fans are already imagining the fireworks this fight could bring, as both are known for their skill, strategy, and relentless determination. Al-Sheikh's involvement adds another layer of intrigue, as he's shown he can organize major events that capture global attention.
and you're a naturally smaller guy, it could start to take effect. It's a fight people are going to want to see, and if Canelo's not going to fight Benavidez and he's not going to fight Moreau, which we've obviously seen he's not, you'd rather end up seeing Canelo against a Crawford for like some kind of super fantasy fight, rather than Canelo against, I don't know, the guy who's going to deliver my...
Crawford's victory over Madrimov earlier this year reignited discussions about his next opponent, with Canelo's name coming up time and time again in fan and analyst circles. His dominant performance against the Uzbekistani fighter only added fuel to the fire, proving Crawford's versatility and readiness to face anyone, regardless of weight class.
And like, I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and like he say, they talking about the fight with Germonta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he say, nobody's gonna give me credit if I beat him. It's the same thing, you know. It's the same thing. I think it's...
Canelo's recent win against Berlanga was met with mixed reviews. While he defended his titles once again, some critics felt the fight lacked the excitement expected from a Canelo headliner. This only increased anticipation for his next bout, with fans hoping to see him face a true challenge like Crawford. The fight would raise many questions. How would Crawford adapt to 168 pounds? Could his speed and precision offset Canelo's power and experience at this weight? And would facing someone as skilled and relentless as Crawford push Canelo to rethink his strategy?
A man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last.
Interestingly, Crawford himself once expressed reluctance to fight at 168 pounds, especially against Canelo. Speaking to Sporting News before his victory over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford stated, 168. I'm not going up there. At the time, many fans wondered if such a fight was possible. Yet, here we are today, with Crawford's mindset having completely shifted. Now, he's more determined than ever to prove himself, setting his sights on a historic showdown with Canelo.
I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? TerenceCrawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
On the Portaway podcast, Crawford shared his deep motivation for this fight. To be honest, the Canelo fight was my motivation, he confessed. Moving up from lightweight to super middleweight without a catchweight is a daunting task for anyone, but for Crawford, it represents the ultimate challenge. It would be crazy for a guy who started at 135 to come all the way up to 168 and dethrone him, he said. Crawford acknowledges the magnitude of the task, but it's this very challenge that excites him.
For Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you asking about that, because you say, your matchup is coming out of the other weight classes, and that's it, and he's welterweight. So
despite the immense challenge, Crawford remains grounded, saying, "There are things we talk about, but right now I'm still doing what I do." While he has always been respectful toward Canelo, the Mexican superstar has been far less enthusiastic about the fight. Canelo has openly said that facing Crawford at 168 pounds offers him no real reward, as a win would be overshadowed by questions about size. "If I win, they'll say he was too small," Canelo stated. His reluctance is understandable. Losing to a fighter moving up in weight would be a significant blow to his legacy.
All the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
Still, Crawford has refused to back down, especially after proving himself again and again. His recent victory over Israel Madrimov
Despite Canelo's skepticism, Crawford has remained unwavering. His recent victory over Madrimov further proved his capabilities at higher weights. Canelo, however, wasn't impressed, suggesting that Crawford's performance was subpar. Crawford quickly fired back, pointing out Canelo's own struggles when moving up in weight, particularly after his loss to Dmitry Bivol at light heavyweight. While Canelo had won his first fight at 175 pounds against Sergey Kovalev, his record at higher weights has been less than flawless. Crawford sees this as evidence that he is willing to take on challenges just as big as Canelo's, if not bigger.
A lot of people say, well, Terence Crawford wants to fight Canelo Alvarez to prove he's the best. Me personally, I think it's just a cash grab. And he's just trying to get as much money as he can.
Crawford's point gains weight when considering Canelo's recent opponent choices. Just a few fights ago, Canelo fought Jermell Charlo, a former undisputed champion at super welterweight. If Canelo was willing to face Charlo, why not Crawford? Both fighters have earned their place at the top and are chasing greatness. For Crawford, this fight is about making history. Moving up to 168 pounds and dethroning Canelo would cement his legacy as one of boxing's greatest.
Sparred over a decade ago, no one's been a bigger Terence Crawford believer than Tim Bradley.
Right.
And so Tim still picks Terence to beat Boots, still picks Terence to beat Canelo.
Canelo, on the other hand, has always been about building his legacy. He's taken on the best and proven himself time and again, but this fight against Crawford is different. It's not just about adding another win to his record, it's about defending his place at the top. The pressure on Canelo is immense, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans are already debating the outcome, analyzing every detail of the potential clash.
I think Terence Crawford has a chance against Canelo Alvarez at 168.
I think he has a chance against either one of those guys. The weight, though, is a serious thing. And one of the reasons why Canelo is so successful is he's got such a good chin.
Crawford's journey to this point has been extraordinary. Starting at 135 pounds and climbing through the ranks, he's faced every challenge head-on. Now, at 37, he's ready for the biggest test of his career. For Canelo, this fight is an opportunity to silence his critics and prove that he is, without a doubt, the best of his generation. As the boxing world eagerly anticipates this showdown, it's clear that this will be more than just a fight, it's a battle of will, skill, and determination.
Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he is not in the plan.
Although both fighters have taken different paths to get here, they share the same goal, to be remembered as the greatest. Amir Khan, who has faced both Canelo and Crawford, offers a unique perspective on the potential matchup. Khan has experienced firsthand the power of Canelo and the precision of Crawford, and his insights are valuable as the possibility of this clash continues to build.
Making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir Khan.
Yeah, he did.
Khan first faced Canelo in 2016, moving up to challenge for the WBC middleweight title. Despite a 6th-round knockout loss, Khan felt the full force of Canelo's power and size. 3 years later, Khan fought Crawford for the WBO welterweight title and was stopped in the 6th round again, showcasing Crawford's precision and versatility. This unique experience gives Khan a rare perspective on both fighters' strengths and weaknesses.
Say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down.
Khan shared his thoughts on the potential Crawford versus Canelo fight with Box Nation, acknowledging the immense challenge Crawford would face due to Canelo's size and power. However, he also expressed his admiration for Crawford's exceptional skill and abilities. "I favor my boy Terence," Khan said, highlighting the motivations that could drive Crawford to take this fight, including the potential for a massive payday.
Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise.
Khan's analysis of the potential matchup underscores the complexity and allure of this fight. While Khan favors Crawford, he acknowledges the risks involved in facing someone like Canelo. The massive payday is also a key factor for Crawford, who has already proven himself as one of the best in the world. If the fight happens, it's a tough call to make on who would come out on top, but Khan would certainly be in Crawford's corner.
Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes! Let's go! Canelo, come on!
Alexander Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion, also weighed in on the matchup, predicting a Crawford victory. Usyk praised Crawford's ability to box from both orthodox and southpaw stances and his capacity to adjust his strategy. Usyk believes Crawford's versatility gives him the tools to overcome Canelo's physical advantages.
Terence Crawford would have to move up.
Crawford's most recent performance, a victory over Israel Madrimov in August.
Crawford's recent victory over Israel Madrimov, where he won the WBO super welterweight title, further highlights his readiness for bigger challenges. Despite Madrimov's reputation as a tough opponent, Crawford dominated, solidifying his status as one of boxing's all-time greats.
Tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely
As speculation grows, CaneloAlvarez has remained calm, stating simply, "Let's make it happen." This brief comment speaks volumes, reflecting Canelo's readiness to face any challenge. A fight with Crawford would not only reinforce his dominance at 168 pounds, but also test his skills against a fighter renowned for his ring intelligence and technical prowess.
Canelo Alvarez, he was never really about the Crawford fight, but the fans were, and I think His Excellency Turki Alalshikh was trying to satisfy the fans.
With both fighters now expressing interest, the Crawford vs. Canelo fight is rapidly becoming one of the most anticipated matchups in boxing. Crawford's incredible journey through the weight divisions and his potential move to 168 pounds will be the ultimate test of his abilities. For Canelo, it's a chance to prove that his power and skill can defeat even the most technically gifted opponent. As the boxing world waits for this epic showdown, the intrigue and excitement continue to build. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more updates.